Kendricks Lamaz Brown. All right, so I was born in Dothan, Alabama, a small town. I was only there for the first 6 years of my life. And because my dad was in the military at the time, we moved around a bunch until I got here actually in Norfolk, Virginia, was where I was living when I first came here in 2001, sixth grade. And pretty much have been in this area since then. Went up to Williamsburg, where I had a full ride basketball scholarship at William and Mary. Then I did grad school up at VCU, where I coached some basketball, got that degree. But then once my career path took an artistic turn, it was back to Virginia Beach. I wanted to be in the NBA. That was always a dream. Started playing basketball probably as soon as I could walk, maybe even before that. If I were to go and get any pictures of me as a kid, more than likely it was probably going to be a basketball in my hand. Getting the scholarship, a D1 scholarship, was always like especially once I got to high school, was always the big goal. I got that scholarship offer, I want to say, the summer before my senior year in high school. So during the summer throughout high school is when I would be on travel teams and going to camps where there's coaches, and that's where the bulk of the recruiting is done. And so the summer leading up to my senior year is when they got the offer, when they gave me the offer, and I committed to play there like right before my senior year in high school. Basketball made me feel alive. Basketball was always, it was like a safe haven. If ever anything was going wrong in my personal life or family life or whatever have you, I knew that I could always go to the basketball court, and everything else just sort of melted away. It gave me confidence. It was always something that I was sort of had a natural ability in, and so it was definitely a big part of my identity. It made me feel like I could do anything. As I progressed through college, my hopes of going pro diminished. Should start getting more realistic as far as the NBA. But there's going professional in general. There was always the option of going overseas to go play pro. I ended up getting a contract to go play in Bulgaria, but right before I was supposed to leave the team, they had a whole new coach and ownership and everything, and the new regime wanted a different player. And so that fell through. And once that fell through, to be honest, I don't know, something, as sad as it might sound, I guess, I don't know, something died in me. I didn't have that same fire to keep playing. And I didn't know what to do at that time. And that's when I started coaching, because it seemed like the next logical step, and everyone was saying, oh, you should coach, you know the game so well. And so I stopped playing and started doing something that I thought would bring me some success. Because honestly, at that point, I was 23, going on 24, which isn't that old, but me at that time, looking around, I guess, to my peers and everything, and thinking, all right, something has to shake, and this basketball thing isn't panning out. Let me go do something that will put me on a path to be successful in terms of how success is traditionally defined. Not being completely satisfied with the coaching thing, I started looking in other areas, and that's when I found art and found acting, as well as painting and music. Just art in general has become my focus. Strangely enough, it was the spiritual exploration that led me to acting. I was reading a book on Hinduism, which they have a model of the world that's called Lila, Lila, and it translates to play. And they see the world as a giant play where God or a higher being is playing is behind everything and everyone. And I don't know, that really spoke to me. In that book that I was reading, it made references to acting. And so I went in and found a book on it, just out of curiosity. And there was something in there that really spoke to me. And in a way, it seems like I found something I didn't really know I was looking for, or like scratched an itch that I didn't even know I had. And there was definitely some hesitancy, just because I never really did anything artistic. Yeah, so I started taking acting classes around this time 2 years ago in Norfolk. And I wasn't so sure about it. There was some hesitancy, and maybe about halfway into the class is when our instructor pulled me to the side. And to be honest, if he didn't do this, I don't know. He pretty much let me know that he felt like he saw something in me, and that I had this natural talent that he wanted to help me as much as possible. And I guess at that point, I didn't really believe in myself that much in terms of being in that new field. And so having someone who was an experienced actor say that to me, it gave me this vote of confidence. The film I did out in LA is The Education of a Negro. That was my first lead in a feature-length project. And after I finished that, I really felt like I started to step into my own. And again, that confidence started to come back. The confidence that I had with basketball, that was lost because I was in this new field. I started to get some of that back, and it feels good. I'll say another thing that drew me to acting was the requirement to empathize with other people. In terms of career success, I'm happy, and I have faith in things turning out for the best, no matter how they shake out. And so to get to this moment where I am now, I know that all the other stuff had to happen. And so I'm grateful, even though it was tough at the time, I'm grateful for everything that happened. We all have the ability to tell our own stories, especially when it comes to our past and how we look at things. Easily have, when things went south, continued to tell that story of it being this terrible thing. But I got to the point where I was able to tell a different story, a story of growth and redemption.